Hi, welcome to our tax guide session for individuals, sole proprietorship series. This session is all about starting a business, sole proprietorship, or is that the best option? Circling back to our previous episodes, we consider the business. Taxpayer must be engaged in the activity for a profit. Taxpayer must be regularly and continuously engaged in the activity. And lastly, taxpayers must hold themselves out to others as offering good services for their market presence. Putting things in perspective, let's say you've established your activity as a business rather than a mere hobby. And let's talk about the structure. Definitively, sole proprietorship is the simplest and most common type of business structure, where a single individual owns and operates the business. Here's the definitive breakdown. Single ownership. The business is owned and managed by one person. There's no legal separation. Owner and the business are legally the same entity. This means the owner is personally liable for all debts, liabilities, and obligations of the business. Next is ease of setup. It is the easiest type of business to establish, often requiring minimal paperwork and costs. You can just register your own name under DBA or doing business as and register it in your local state, thereby securing relevant permits and licenses. You may be required to have an EIN or employer identification number only if you're planning to have one employee or more. Taxation. Profits and losses are reported on the owner's personal income tax return, avoiding corporate taxes. And lastly, the control. The owner has complete control over decision making. Now let's weigh your options. The advantages of having sole proprietorship are, again, its simplistic nature or simplistic structure. It's only one owner, and you only have to report your earnings on your personal income tax return or your 1040, and you can utilize the deductions. On the other hand, the cons are unlimited liability, taxes on profit, will be subjected to two types of taxes, the income tax and self-employment tax, and you'll be required to have estimated tax payments quarterly. Let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room when we're talking about your own sole proprietorship, and that is the unlimited liability. Unlimited liability means full responsibility for debts. If the business incurs debt or legal liabilities, the owner is personally on the hook to repay those debts, even if they exceed the amount of money invested in the business. It poses risk to personal assets. Creditors can pursue the owner's personal property to settle business debts. This includes bank accounts, real estate, or other valuable personal assets. Lastly, there's no separation between business and personal assets. In a sole proprietorship, the law views the owner and the business as one and the same, so the owner is fully liable for any legal judgments or financial obligations. Take note, because of the nature of the unlimited liability posed by sole proprietorship, there are industries which are not suitable for such business structures, such as medical, construction or mechanics, legal, restaurants, healthcare, finance, and taking care of people or pets. Mainly because there's high liability and risk exposure, there are certain regulatory and licensing requirements, and it requires the public's need for professional liability protection and credibility. Unlimited liability is one of the main reasons why some business owners choose to form LLCs or limited liability corporations. Takeaways: even small mistakes can lead to big consequences, even just for a startup or a small business. As a sole proprietor, unlimited liability means you're personally responsible for business debts and legal claims. Therefore, it's important to consider the risks in your industry and whether you need more protection for personal assets. Moreover, there's a trade-off between pros and cons here. You can easily report your earnings, enjoy the ease of setting up a startup, but if your business specifically operates in a more sophisticated area involving public credibility and accountability, maybe consider setting up a different structure other than a sole proprietorship. But if you're one of the startup owners who found passion in doing what they love and wanting it to take to the next level, maybe quitting your day job and fully taking charge of your earnings and time as a startup, let's talk more about the specifics onto the next section. For now, we're fully covered with unlimited liability and sole proprietorship. That's it for a session. Stay tuned for more.